All right, so we are at the 3:05 mark. So we will go ahead and get started, and I'll keep an eye on the waiting room in case anybody else joins in who may just be running a couple of minutes late. So welcome everybody to this month's Best Practices Workshop, where we will focus on building your student success village on campus to help you with meeting your goals, building this village within the suitable community and beyond. So a couple of housekeeping items before we jump into things. This workshop is being recorded and it will be sent to participants afterwards along with the slides. We will also be providing just a quick participation survey to just see how this workshop met your goals and what you would possibly look for in the future. Additionally, captions are available for this workshop. I do have them enabled. I'm hoping that you're able to see them if you need to. Sometimes in Zoom, participants also need to enable the transcription and the captions if you need it. So that should be in your bottom bar as a participant. All right. And then one more thing that I will add, this workshop is meant to be an interactive workshop. So I'm not going to do breakout rooms or anything like that. But there will be some spots where I ask for some discussion about your own personal experience. And then I'll also be providing a workshop for you to work through your goals, or a worksheet for you to work through your goals. All right. So first and foremost, who am I? My name is Eleni Tutter. I'll be your workshop facilitator today. As the University Success Support Lead at Suitable, I work with many partners and hear about their experience within the realm of higher education, as well as work on community engagement initiatives to encourage our partners to work together and find common ground among student success initiatives that they want to put into place. Some of these initiatives include the Suitable Community Discussion Board, the Suitable Insiders semesterly emails, and the Suitable Community Support articles. I also come from a higher education background, having worked in international education during the COVID-19 pandemic, in residence life, and in non-credit co-curricular programs. Outside of work, I am a recently engaged fiance, a power lifter, traveler, grocery shopper, home chef, and musician. So from there, anytime you see one of these purple bubbles, this is where I'm turning it over to you to contribute to the discussion. So if you would like to drop in the chat or unmute yourself, your name, your institution and title, and who you are outside of work. Thank you, Robbie. And I'll also add the participants in this workshop today will be your first group of Student Success Village members outside of your institution. So getting to know everybody here will be a great way to continue to build that village and build on that shared knowledge of student success and engagement. Perfect. Thanks, Bethany. Thank you, Crystal. Great. So from there, let's talk about today's agenda. So my goal today is to share resources with you all to build your student success villages on campus and reduce the weight that can be associated with student success by having those partners on campus in the Suitable community and beyond that can help you. More specifically, our agenda will involve the following. Thank you for that, Neil. Our agenda will involve defining a student success village, utilizing the suitable community, bringing awareness of your student success village that exists outside of your institution, some words of wisdom from different suitable partners, and making a SMART plan for building your village. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and then some outcomes to just be mindful of. And I do want to say before we continue on with the workshop and reviewing these outcomes, I want to take a moment to allow us all to catch our breath and think about the year and years that we had before us. Working and living in the space of higher education has not been easy, and we acknowledge this. Especially most of my team, we are professionals with a higher education background. Most of us worked in higher ed during COVID-19. So we do understand and empathize with the situation. So although these are the concrete outcomes we hope you come out of this workshop with, we also hope you come out of this workshop with tools to lighten the load and burden that comes with working in higher education and simply working in the field of helping others. So turning over to the more concrete outcomes that I hope you have by participating in this workshop. So at the end of this workshop, you will be able to construct and identify your student success village on campus, build your own definition of a student success village, reference resources available to you as a suitable partner and in higher education as a whole, and incorporate best practices from other suitable partners to lighten the mental load. All right, so first things first, what is a student success village? So this is going to differ for everybody, but the starting definition that we've developed at Suitable is that a student success village is composed of people in the student space who work together towards a common goal, see their students succeed. This village will work together collaboratively to meet this goal, keeping the student in mind always. They could introduce you to additional faculty or staff across the campus working towards this goal, as well as market your program and advocate for students. This village can comprise of many different parts of the campus, even those that may not innately revolve around student success. So now it is your turn. So let's build your definition of a student success village. Consider the following questions and take 5 minutes to brainstorm a definition before we share it out to the group. I have a helpful graphic that I will share. It is a Google Drive link, but you should all have access to it. And it's just a nice little graphic that incorporates all of these questions that you see here in defining your student success village. Before we hop into that, are there any questions about defining the student success village? Great. So you see these questions here. First, what does the definition that I shared with you all mean to you? Who should be in your success village on campus? Who isn't in it, but you want them to be in it? What will your goals be for this village outside of seeing students succeed? What do you need from this village to feel supported? And how will you measure progress towards your goals? So I'll leave this screen up as you are all thinking about these questions. Feel free to use the graphic that I dropped in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and start this timer here. And then I will mute myself and also turn off my camera to allow you more concentration on the goal at hand. Any questions though, feel free to unmute or throw them in the chat. I will be monitoring the chat. And then I also do see Josh Louder just joined, so I'm going to give him a quick rundown of where we're at currently. Hi, Josh.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going well. What about yourself?
Going great, going great. I just want to give you a quick rundown of where we are currently in the workshop. We are at the point where we are beginning to create our own definitions of what a student success village would be for ourselves on campus. Part of that is looking at this graphic that we created that I just shared in the chat again so that you can see it, and also considering these questions that are up on the screen in that definition.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. All right, so that is the end of the 5 minutes. I hope that was enough time for you all to begin working towards these questions, or at least working them out. The graphic that I provided to you will be available even after today's session, and I will send it in the follow-up email as well, so you'll always have access to it, and you can continue to consider those questions. All right, so after reviewing those questions, let's go ahead and have a moment of sharing. So who would like to share the definition, or at least the beginnings of the definition of a student success village that you created, as well as if anybody has any thoughts or questions to add to this process? Were there any roadblocks that you ran into in starting this definition? Or did it come easily to you? You know exactly what your definition of a student success village is for you? Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
All right, good afternoon. So for my unit for Strike Forward here at Rattler Ready at Florida A&M University, a successful student villages for us is one to see our students graduate in 4 years, to make sure that they've earned the career competencies or the career goals that they need to be successful in the workplace and are ready for either full-time employment, part-time employment, or if they desire to go to graduate school or the military. That's a successful progress for us. I think some of the roadblocks that we've run into so far are just trying to get different university partners on board with suitable, and then just integrating that into the curriculum. But so far we're in year 2, and it's been beneficial, and we have our career development services team on board with us outside of the Office of Freshman Studies, and it's different other university units that want to work with us. So it's good progress, but progress nonetheless.
Absolutely. Yeah, any progress that you can make towards building that village, especially for programs that don't start college-wide, university-wide, getting that buy-in from other partners to incorporate engagement for their students, as well as engagement for your program. Any progress towards that goal is great progress. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Any other thoughts on this topic, or kind of want to pay off of some of what Josh was saying? Okay, great. So from here, we're going to talk a little bit about exploring your student success village outside of your institution, right? Because student success is incorporated all across higher education. Student success is the university's success, is the college's success. So there are a few different ways that you can explore what this student success village can look like outside of your institution. Some of these you may already know about and you may already be incorporating, but these are just recommendations that we have from our team, from our background in higher education, as well as listening to our partners over the years that we want to provide to you all. So the first point here is taking advantage of being a part of any professional organizations. If you're a business school, this could be AACSB. If you work within a career center, this could be NACE. And then more generally, this could be NASPA, as well as any of the regional regional professional organizations that are available. So conferences, membership in an organization often provides the discounted access to conferences hosted by the organization, which includes networking and adding more people into that village. Discussion boards, so many organizations have these discussion boards where you can pose questions to different members of the organization to kind of crowdsource that student success and student engagement thinking. Events, so some organizations, they have hot topic events, they have events with professionals in the field to share best practices. Oftentimes these events are free, even if you are not a member of the organization. So that is definitely a great way to become a part of that through a way that is typically more accessible. And then articles and free downloads. So taking advantage of the free resources that are offered, such as the articles that are usually sent out. NASPA and AACSB are great at this, as well as any free downloads that they may have for you to at least get started with building student success and student engagement best practices. The next tip is to use social media as a superpower. So on Facebook, there are many great Facebook groups dedicated to student success and student engagement. If you just search for student success, you're bound to find many. LinkedIn is a great space to connect with individuals at other institutions with the same goals as you. And with this, I will drop a link in the chat. This is to the Suitable Student Success group. So you can meet with other Suitable partners via this group to talk about some of the practices that they've put into place towards building their village and what tools they're incorporating for that. And then there is, of course, YouTube, where you can see demos of events and best practices in action and hear from professionals in the field. And then this is one of my favorite videos on student success. All right, so from those two best practices for building a village outside of your institution, what are some resources for student success that you find useful? What are some of your favorite videos or events or some organizations that you enjoy finding articles or downloadables from that you could share with the group here? And feel free to just drop them in the chat, or if it's something that you can express, feel free to unmute and talk about it as well. Josh, was there a resource you wanted to share?
I'm sorry, could you rephrase the question? I had a thought. I just wanted to make sure I was answering it correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. So just a resource sharing moment between everybody, since this is kind of the first part of our village that we're building together, all of us being workshop participants here. So if you have any resources that you personally enjoy and would want to share with the group.
Yes, I personally enjoy the YouTube channel. That's very helpful for me. Definitely messing with YouTube since 2011. So like to, have that immersed in like my work culture
Yeah.
and to like have that as a great valuable resource, because sometimes it's like, well, the personnel that you're working with, they don't know. And this is a good teaching tool as well to kind of help illustrate what you're maybe expressing to between the sender and the receiver. So that's been very helpful as well. And then I know like tomorrow we have a financial literacy party teaching students financial wellness, but we've been working with a bank here and a credit union. And so that's one of our badges that we have for our platform to teach our students financial wellness. So those are some of the good resources that I think that I personally enjoy. And then just building those local employee partners within the community of Tallahassee, Florida.
Wonderful. I don't know, I know you work with Kelsey. I don't know if she's ever shared. I went to Florida State, so just across the way from you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, she has shared.
Okay. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. Moving into the field that I currently work in, I relied on YouTube a lot. And also just how this can contribute to relieving your mental load. You don't want to recreate the wheel, right? So if somebody has already produced material or has already created videos or whatnot on this type of insight or this type of initiative that you're trying to run, using those YouTube videos, those downloadables, those articles can certainly help in that way. All right, perfect. So then we will switch a little bit to how to get more out of the Suitable community and how this can help to be a part of your Student Success Village, kind of as like a supplement to your village, if you will. So the first point we have here is to visit the Suitable discussion board and introduce yourself, as well as add any feature requests you're interested on the board. This is a great way to connect with fellow peers who are utilizing Suitable to get best practices and how to incorporate things on Suitable, as well as generally best practices in student engagement and student success. You can also discuss things that are more specific for your school. So if you work in a business school, you can reach out to other business school partners within Suitable, same for honors colleges, and any other smaller groups within higher education. Then on the same place in the discussion board, and where you probably found this best practices workshop today, would be to visit the Find Answers and Admin training section. There you can find our next training opportunities, workshop opportunities, any of those events that we may be putting on. And then the third point is to watch out for Suitable insider emails each semester that has information on upcoming roundtables, events, and conferences that Suitable will be at. So speaking of upcoming roundtables, next Tuesday, we'll be having our semesterly roundtable. So hopefully all of you were added to that invitation. If you don't have that on your calendar for next Tuesday, please let me know in the chat and we will make sure that you're added on there. That's a super important thing to try to be a part of, because it is all of the Suitable partners coming together and sharing practices, having discussions about things that they've seen throughout the semester, as well as a space for Suitable to provide updates with what's been going on with our team. All right, so this is a quick let's share option here. Thanks, Crystal. We will definitely get you added. So if you want to drop your LinkedIn and or your email address in the chat to connect with the new members of your Student Success Village. So I will drop mine in the chat here just to get us started. And we'll move on to some best practices that we have seen from our Suitable partners. Now, I will share the contact information for each of these Suitable partners so you can reach out to them to get more information. So when I reached out to these people, I was asking them, what are some of the best practices you've seen either from utilizing Suitable or just from your experience in higher education in general for building your Student Success Village? So I won't read out these entire blocks of text for you, but I will provide it to you where you can see it and maybe read a couple of blurbs from each one. So Corey with the College of Charleston, one of his biggest things was creating a team environment of cross-trained student success professionals who can refer students to resources across campus. And this is something that we hear about very often for our partners, especially when they're beginning to incorporate things university-wide, making sure that you have that village in place to support the initiatives that you're wanting to put forward. And then Baru Robertson Hornsby with Moravian University, he says, when it comes to student success, there must be an all hands on deck approach. And he believes in providing concrete information and updates to all faculty and staff across your institution. This is another thing that we hear pretty often from our partners, just making sure that everybody is on the same page to prevent any headaches from occurring. And, everybody being on the same page, working towards the same goal for student success. And then we have Jasmine Jackson with Kennesaw State University. So the synopsis of this was that they would have things happen on campus and they think, oh, I think I have a solution for this. But instead of immediately jumping into that, just taking advantage of their student success village and seeing what is already being done so that they are not reinventing the wheel and taking that into themselves, as well as creating new silos on campus. So colleges like to take the decentralized approach, which is great in some ways, but in other ways, it can create more siloed approaches to student success and student engagement. So making sure we're preventing that from happening where we can contributes greatly to student success. And then finally, we have Coco Wu with Central Washington University. So for them, within their program in the College of Business, they had a phased approach to building their village, which started with they themselves testing things out on Suitable. And then as they got more comfortable, they started to bring more people into their village that they thought could contribute to bringing in student buy-in from the college, as well as bringing in that student engagement from these different departments on campus, which in turn provided value to those partners because then they get that data on student engagement within their activities. So moving into the meat and potatoes of this workshop, we will talk about building your village and utilizing SMART goals in order to build this village. So we're all probably familiar with the SMART goal structure. So there are usually 5 parts of a SMART goal. First being specific, then we have measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. For this instance of the SMART goal, we're changing the instruction up just a little bit, as well as adding an additional letter to the bottom for follow-up, as this is a very important component of your SMART goal. So a couple of things to take note of with each of these letters. S for specific. This will be in regards to who will you add to your student success village and how will you gain buy-in from these people? What is the value proposition for them to be a part of your village working towards your goal? Measurable. What data will measure the progress towards goals decided by your village? Are you going to use data that you have within Suitable, or is there another place that you'll pull data from? Will this be achievable? Are you going to be able to add these people to your village? Will those people have the bandwidth, the time, and the resources to be a part of this goal, this initiative that you're trying to push forward? Relevant. How does this village align with broader goals? Does it align with the university's student learning outcomes? Does it align with what the department you're trying to bring in with what their goals are? Are there broader goals specifically for your department that this could fit in with? Time bound. What will be your time frame for setting up the building of your village, and then the time frame for accomplishing your goal? And then finally, the follow-up. So we all know student success is a marathon, not a sprint. So how are you going to continue this momentum towards your goals? Are you going to have follow-up meetings? Is this going to be a one-time thing? Answering those questions here. All right. I'm going to drop a link in the chat to the worksheet that we will utilize for this. So this is another Google Drive link. What you'll do to be able to fill out the worksheet, when you open that link, there should be in the top right a 3-dot drop down where you can click download, and that will bring it into a PDF format for you to be able to fill out. All right, so as you're getting that worksheet ready, we're going to take 7 minutes to begin your SMART goal towards establishing your Student Success Village. And I have provided the letters with the definitions here as well for you to be reviewing while you are putting this Student Success Village together, or at least this plan towards building your Student Success Village. Before we hop into this, do we have any questions, concerns, and if the link is working correctly that we should address before we move into our 7-minute time period here? Okay, great. So I will go ahead and start the timer. And then I will do exactly what I did before. I will mute and hide my video, but I will be monitoring the chat. So feel free to drop any questions in the chat there or unmute yourself, and I'll be happy to discuss any questions you have. All right. So that is the end of the 7 minutes. So before we move on to the next slide, thanks, Crystal. See you next time. Before we move on to the next slide, I'll just show you an example of a SMART goal that I put together for myself, just as an example here. So for this goal, I wanted to add student organizations to my village and the student engagement that comes with having organizations in my pathway. So to be specific, I said I would engage the director of student life, the coordinator of student engagement, and SGA leaders. For the measurable part of this, I said we'll measure this data based on engagement data in Suitable, based on activities and students tagged to student organizations. To make it achievable, I said this will require buy-in from the team to find the relevance of Suitable data in their own data set. I'll do a demo with this team on how Suitable can be value to them, then allow potential partners to determine their bandwidth from there. For the relevance of this goal, the broader goal of my team is to encourage student engagement, and engaging student organizations is a great path towards completing my goal. This will also give students a broader view of their engagement on campus. For making this a time-bound goal, I said I'd like to have this goal achieved by the end of spring 2023, with our first student organization competition occurring in fall 2023. And then finally, for the follow-up, I said I'd like to meet with this team on a monthly basis to review engagement data for student organizations and identify areas for growth. So after reviewing this example and completing your own SMART goal towards building your student success village, what are some of the components of your SMART goal that you included? And are there any questions or comments from when you were doing this process? Do you have some feedback, Josh?
Yes, I do. So I said our specific SMART goal would be the Office of Freshman Study is overall the village that I represent, and I'll continue to gain, and we have continued to gain buy-in by doing the best job we can for the task of trying to make sure our students strike forward in 4 years. A measurable goal would be to continue to use the data that we pull from the badges and workshops by using Qualtrics and using surveys to look at the numbers to see if the students enjoyed the workshop, or did they benefit from the workshop. Just looking at our survey, what is achievable, building and working out with our time frame of 4 years on putting down things to make sure that our students are successful and prepared for life after undergraduate. I say what is relevant for our village, to stay in curriculum with the programs that we have here on campus, as well as staying on pace for our university-wide goals. Our time-bound goals for T. This is our second. We fully launched university-wide in the summer. So our time bound, we're just trying to make sure we continue to have our good partnerships with the Office of Student, with the Student Union and the student activities, working with our on-campus partners that are from the undergraduate career services. And then, I follow up on weekly, either a bi-weekly basis. Sometimes a lot of my colleagues are in the same meetings that I'm in, and also we have our own individual meetings. So that's my F for Florida A&M and Rattler Ready.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. It sounds like you have
Thank you.
that goal pretty well thought out, that you want to begin working towards. And I mean, you've already been working towards that. So love to hear the planning that has gone into that.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So like I said, that was the meat and potatoes of the workshop. From here, it's going to be a debrief. So Robbie and Josh, if you have any remaining questions, and also what your biggest takeaway from this workshop has been that you'll take back to your team. Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
I think I'll take back everything that I've learned on my time here this afternoon. It definitely was helpful in terms of just planning, overall planning, and just seeing what other universities are doing and colleges are doing as well. And then there's also some things like to definitely like put into practice by using the SMART goals. And I guess, you know, for me, it does help because it helps to not just get too much overwhelmed in the work environment. So just breaking it down into chunks is very helpful for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at a goal at its face value and just getting overwhelmed by the process that will take to achieve that goal, it's too much. So having an organized way to break down the components of the goal definitely helps a lot. That's why I like using that SMART goal method. Robbie, do you have some thoughts here?
Well, I'm new to Suitable, and I'm not sure that we have taken advantage of all the things that you guys offered. So like I say, I've been at University of North Georgia since September 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm juggling a lot of things right now. So I can see where it would be valuable. I'm not sure that we have the buy-in from our students. It seems they're just going through, for example, when they have to do a resume or they're just slamming some stuff on there, and we don't have the bandwidth to really go back and reevaluate. And if they're putting bad information out there, garbage in, garbage out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out how we can get a handle on that with the amount of people that we have. We are getting VMOC, so that should help.
Oh, good. Yeah, hopefully, going through this SMART goal process, maybe that's something you can take back to your team to begin breaking down, some of those goals. One of the goals sounding like it's to expand the bandwidth and the availability of your team. So maybe that's something.
It's a
you can look
required
together.
activity, but we still have students that are not doing the required activity.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get to be a senior and they've only completed 30%, it's like, okay, you missed the whole purpose.
Yeah.
And so
Absolutely.
I don't know if we need to backtrack on that. That's to be determined.
Yeah, absolutely.
But thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. I hope this is helpful in that process where you determine what your needs will be moving forward.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Thank you.
Absolutely. So a couple more things
Hey.
here. So strive to earn recognition at our Pathways 2023 conference. Each year we present awards to partner programs that are excelling in different areas. One of the new awards we introduced last year was the Dr. Audrey Morrell Award for Innovation Towards Student Success. This year, that award recognized Dr. Audrey Morrell, but in the future, it's going to recognize those partners who are putting in that work towards innovating student success on their campus. So if you're able to build a goal from here and work towards that goal, that could put you in the running towards this award, as well as many others that we have. Our upcoming trainings and events. So our next basic training, that is outdated for October 12th, but November 15th, will be our next and our final basic training for the fall semester. And then our partner roundtable, as I mentioned earlier, will be happening next Tuesday. So if either of you are not on that invitation, let me know and I'll make sure that you get added to it. And then finally, my information. So I will be sending you a follow-up email, but feel free to take this down. If you have any questions, always feel free to contact me. I want to see our partners engage with our community and use it as a force for good in their student success and student engagement initiatives. So if you have any thoughts, questions, concerns, I'm always happy to hear it. Open ears on this matter.
Thank you.
And yeah, finally, thank you both for staying for the whole workshop, and thank you to the participants that were a part of the workshop before. You will receive a follow-up email from me shortly with all of these materials, and I hope you both have a wonderful day.
Thank you too.
Great, thanks.